Here, you're a leader. What do you mean you didn't sign up to nag PMs and babysit Gantt charts? Of course you didn't. But as a leader, you did sign up to drive transformation, deliver value, make sure the teams are working on the right things at the right time for the right reasons. That's where the PMOs come in, not for a bunch of red tape, but for strategic focus, aligning the partners, and helping your people out. The meat of today's session is really around the PMO hierarchy. I'll share a breakdown of the structure from the program level MRCs up to the syncs between, IT and the BU execs. But first, I got to touch on the value of PMOs with a few success stories. What can you achieve with a good structure? Also, on the risks of weak or missing PMO engagement. What happens if you don't have a strong structure? So, let's talk about some case studies where PMOs are structured and leaders are engaged. The right culture is enforced. Again, not trying to be the police, but support when things are rough. Reinforce that transparency, progress, and health and risks. Finding ways to encourage and keep momentum going. No one can afford to stall in today's environment. You can't be that slow. You got to move forward. So first, a couple of success stories. Microsoft's PMO, they didn't just track projects, it helped connect governance, resource planning across teams. It's the kind of integration that made it possible for Azure to scale globally, resulting in accelerated cloud adoption. NASA's PMO is known for strong governance. Of course, it's NASA, but it also supports innovation. They used phase gates to manage risks while still encouraging new ideas. They found ways to have a smart balance between control and creativity. But when PMOs are absent, misaligned, there's consequences. So now for a couple of scary stories. Take Birmingham City Council. They started with $48 million Oracle ERP project. It ballooned to over $114 million because the governance fell apart. Vendor management was weak. No one was really connecting the dots. And the PMO flags, didn't even try to flag the risks early enough, and they didn't pull the stakeholders in. Obviously, it was a bit of a mess. HP, similar story. SAP rolled out, caused 160 million in order of backlogs, lost revenue. PMOs so focused on the technology side, they missed the people side. Change management was an afterthought. Operations were the ones that paid the price. Again, so if there's one key takeaway from these, it's leader attention matters. You need to pay attention. So let me be clear. IT's leader job isn't just appointing someone to be that PMO lead for their segment to oversee it. The organization needs help. It needs the attention to discipline. You need to feel confident that you're getting the transparency and actually lean in and help when needed. So now let's talk about the IT PMO leadership hierarchy and what you must do to avoid such challenges, drive real value. The PMO engagement, really needs to happen across the board from BU and IT execs, sponsors, key stakeholders, and the PMs doing the work. We're going to walk through the structure, I typically recommend for oversight and alignment, but bear in mind it can deviate as we really need to be flexible. Every organization is different. Leadership styles, reorg, shifting priorities, it can all change how the overall engagement plays out, especially at the top. At the end of the day, it's all about alignment, transparency, accountability, support at every level. How we get there may look different, but as a leader, ask yourself, hey, are we holding the line? Are our investments clear? Do we know where and when to lean in? Are we achieving the value we expect, right? So the Program MRC, Management Review Committee, it should include your IT sponsor, your business sponsors for projects, unless it's like an IT for IT type project. IT leaders at this level are usually managers or directors, although GMs, VPs, they may step in as well for larger programs. This is where support, resourcing, deeper conversations around the health, risks, alignment, and engagement really begin. Active participation here truly matters. For example, if decisions are being made that affect the business, but the sponsor or the delegate in the business is missing, hello, red flag. It's a signal that you, as the IT leader, need to influence your business partners to step up and take stronger ownership. Now, let's shift right and talk a little bit more around segment PMO reviews. So IT segments, they typically include things like infrastructure, digital workplace, data analytics, enterprise apps, cybersecurity. Each is led by a GM that's overseeing a portfolio. And while GMs may not monitor every little project, they stay close to the strategic initiatives, to those cross-segment dependencies, the high-impact efforts. If a risk surfaces beyond their domain, it's important for them to escalate and bring it to others' attention and ensure there's leadership alignment across the board. Let's shift again now to the CIO CISO executive PMO reviews. Now, global IT teams, they monitor top programs and overall health with reviews that are led typically by CIO, CISO, and their staff. IT leaders, topic owners, they may join as well to share insights and give updates on programs, especially things at risk that may need help. Together, though, these leaders, they provide strategic oversight. They help escalate the issues or guide investments, when those segments hit roadblocks. But as a leader in IT, you sure know how important it is that executives are not surprised. So this is a big part of stakeholder management that is really expected in the organization. So one more shift to the right, let's talk about the business and in IT executive syncs. IT and the business execs, can easily get disconnected. It's critical to stay aligned on major initiatives, the organizational demands, and where support's needed. The goal is really over time building that maturity so leaders can review the portfolio holistically, track transformation progress for the corporation's strategic imperatives overall. But I'll go deeper into each of these in an upcoming post, what looks good, what to watch for, and how to build such engagement. At every level, though, leaders, they play a critical role. The level of detail that one goes into will certainly be different at each level. But as a whole, IT leaders have responsibility of strategic oversight, visibility across the programs and portfolios, risk and performance reviews, the timelines, risks, and improvement opportunities, support and enablement, removing roadblocks and securing resources for the teams as they need them, and alignment accountabilities, enforcing the discipline and aligning investments with the goals. So please reflect on that. And of course, there's always room for improvement. One more call out before I wrap up. Cadence matters. It is key to helping things move forward. It's just a big part of the leader's responsibility. Steady rhythm of reviews and engagement reinforces discipline and good practices. Big priorities, challenges, they can distract, but leaders must stay engaged, track progress, and support active programs. It's how we shield our organization from the noise and keep things moving. So, as a final thought, PMOs aren't just there for governance and discipline. IT leaders' role in the PMO is to act as that strategic enabler. You got to help IT deliver what the business actually needs. Transformations at the end of the day, they're really about delivering business value. So as Jane Morgan, former CIO of Unilever, said, hey, we're no longer talking about IT projects. We talk about business projects. And Jay Farrow, he reminded us that the CIO's role is to make the entire business run better, not just IT. So this applies not just for CIOs, but for all IT leaders. We have the responsibility to help the business run better. So let's make sure our PMOs are built to do just that. Stay tuned. I'll be double clicking into all these pillars in upcoming sessions. Thank you. Excited for the next path forward with you.